Any idea? Idiot, can you give me some of like idea about this? What is SELinux? How it works? Any idea?
Um, I think that was some additional security. Um, let me just back up 1 second.
Actually, it is additional security security control that we have in operating system. So it is introduced in version RHEL 4.0. I think it was 2005 or 2006, and it is DoD, Department of Defense approved security control, and it is a part of CIS benchmark and PCI DSS benchmark. Okay.
Mhm.
No, what is SELinux actually? How it works? As you know that for the security purpose to provide the security to control uh, like different, like basically to manage the different activities, we have different security solutions. We have firewalls, we have antiviruses, we have IDS, IPS, right? If you look into these security control like firewalls normally what happen filter the traffic. That traffic comes uh, to our network or that leaves our network. Basically firewall filter that traffic on the base of rules, right?
Mhm.
Whenever traffic comes, it read the headers, try to match the rules. If rule matches, then it will take the action. Actions could be allowed, it could be denied, or it could be redirect, right? If
Right.
the rule does not match, then it will read the next rule. If there's no rule match, if there's no rule uh, configure matching with that pattern, so there's the implicit action is that it could be deny or it could be allow. It depends basically what we have configured. And then we have antiviruses or endpoint security. That basically what happen, it does not filter traffic, but it record the behavior of the uh, files. Okay, anything that lands on the operating system, that executes on the operating system, it basically do the analysis on the behavior of that activity, do the analysis of the file, and then read the signatures, read the checksum value, and then try to compare with its database that is called signatures. If it matches and it is a well-known attack pattern, it's a well-known threat. So antivirus or endpoint security basically block or take the actions as per or take the action against that. Okay, IDS IPS, more intelligent. It read inside the package, inside the payload. Basically, again, it is for a network. IDS IPS, intrusion detection system, prevention system. Again, the signature-based matching is there. Behavior-based matching is there. Protocol-based matching is there. So it compare the traffic, compare the information with the its own criteria, and it takes actions. If you see here, so it's all about basically filter. It's all about traffic that come to our network or leave our network or land on the system. Basically it's all about that. So there's nothing about the operating system, right? If someone have, for example, as a user idiot, I have access to some few content, and from there if I try to access another content of the operating system on OS level, so there's no control that can stop me. We have some control like permissions. Permissions are there, we define the permissions. If the permissions are allowed, then we can access. But sometimes what happen, uh, even idiot has the full access, he's the admin, but the way he's coming to access the machine, it basically makes a big difference. For example, if there's a one service and there's a content that is allowed only for the HTTP, and elite is the admin of that, or elite account is compromised, and from outside someone gained the access using the HTTP protocol and with the credentials of elite, what will happen? The person will have the access to the entire operating system because elite is the admin, elite has the full privileges. So SC Linux basically says, okay, just wait, I'm here. If there is any violation, if there's anything that does not basically align with the policy, I will be there to protect you. What is the policy? Policy says that when we entered, just like banks, so you know that we used to deal with the banks, we used to visit the bank on regular basis. So we can see the tellers are there. The one teller basically that is taking care of the checks. Another counter that is dedicated might be only for the corporate sector. One counter that's only might be issuing the bank statement. Another counter that might be dealing with the new bank account opening, right? Possibility is there. So if we get a token just to withdraw the money to like to process our checks, what happened? We took the ticket, we are waiting in the, we are in the queue. When our turn will come, we'll go to that specific counter, go to specific person. But if we take the ticket and we are inside already, we are already inside, security guard will not stop us because we are already inside. But after taking a token, if I went to the bank manager, like manager office, will they process my transaction? Yes, Siri, tell me. Will they process my transaction? No, they
Nope.
will not
Nope.
process.
Nope.
What they
Nope.
will do? They will say, sorry guys, you have the
Yeah.
token, you have ticket number, please wait there, stay in the queue. When your turn will come, you can see your ticket number on the screen. Please proceed to that counter, right?
Right.
So this is SELinux. SELinux say no need to worry, I'm here. When someone gain the access, he or she is authorized to access that service, perfect. But when from that service, if he or she try to access any other resource of the OS, I will stop him. I will say no need to worry, you can access your
Okay.
resource. But if he or she try to access any other resource of the
So it's extra administrative controls then.
I think we lost his audio.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he disappeared.
No, he's still in the meeting, but I think audio is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. He came out again.
okay. Assume that Elias is a non-admin user account, okay, and Khaled is admin account. We want that Elliot must not able to perform S2 activity. Okay, or might be want to limit the user, that user must not able to do the S2. You know that S2 basically it's a way to get the access of any other user account. It's a way to log on to a different user account, right?
Right.
Okay, so such kind of controls we can have in SELinux. It's a very beautiful security control mechanism. But again, to perform all these things, we required a good knowledge, extensive knowledge, better extensive understanding. Otherwise, it will not allow us to work. So here in this course, we're going to learn the fundamental of SELinux, the different ways to configure it, and the mode of SELinux, and that's basically required for SELinux. In the production environment, most of the time system engineers they avoid SELinux. But what happens if you don't follow the SELinux, if you don't enforce it, you don't apply it, so you will not get the compliance, you will not get the lessons. Why? Because it is a part of almost all the security benchmarks, all the security compliance. So therefore, uh, it is required to enable it is required to apply the SELinux and do the fine tuning as per our requirement. So fine tuning will take time. So therefore, what we do, we always run the SELinux in the learning mode for a couple of weeks. We learn our environment as Linux, learn our environment. On the base of that, basically, we fine tune as Linux and we allow, or we basically enable the access. Let's see. SE Linux. SE Linux has the two modes. One is called enforcing, another is called permissive, and third one basically that is not a mode. That is actually the stated like it is enabled, disabled. So if you look here, disabled means SE Linux is turned off entirely. There is no activity of SE Linux. It is not working. SELinux violation are denied, not even recorded. So it means if there's any violation, it will not deny. If there's any violation, any activity, it will not record. It means this is not working. We have enforcing mode. Enforcing mode basically, it will deny the violation. If someone violating this policy, then it will stop it. Assume that our web servers by default works on port 80, but we have done some customization. Instead of port 80 running on might be some other port. So it is required to inform SELinux that we have changed the port. We have customized the port. If you don't inform the SELinux, then it will not allow us to work. So this is the
I think his audio is gone again.
Yeah. I see you keep on disappearing. He's
I
coming
think
back.
I think that there's something wrong with my internet connection today. Okay. Okay. So SELinux basically will if record all will monitor all the activities. If there's any violation, it will prevent that. That's the basic enforcing. Permissive mode. This is something that is called learning mode. In this case, what happened? SELinux record all the activities but will not prevent. If there's any violation, it will not prevent. So that is called permissive. So enforcing mode, it is a mode where basically violation is recorded, violation is prevented. Permissive, only the recording, and disable, no SELinux activity will happen on the system. Okay. So how to change the mode? If you look as before that, if you look here, SELinux parameters. If you look any file object, any object, you will see that it is divided into the multiple parts. For example, if I use the command here, just to show you. Okay, if I use a command here, ls minus l capital Z, I can see, okay, slash var. Okay. So you can see that we have SELinux values here. If you look here, let me go with the special. Let me create a new file. Okay, look here. This is SELinux. But if you look here, so it is basically multiple parts, multiple portions are there. First portion that define SELinux user. Is this.
The terminal is too small. Can you like maximize it a bit?
Sure, sure. I will basically do it. This 1 minute. Let me. Okay. Is Khalid, is it okay now?
Yeah, it's good now.
Okay. If you look here, the first part that is basically SELinux users. So in SELinux, we have the multiple user accounts. Okay. SELinux user account. What are the SELinux user account? Let me show you. Semanage. Okay. So minus L. See here. Here we have SELinux user. That is, it is look unconfined. Okay. So this is SELinux user. So it's mean that whenever you create the object, basically by default, unconfined underscore you will own that activity. This is user. Then object. This is a role. This is a role basically. Role is something that can tell you about the object. Okay. Then there's a basic type. So it will let you know that specific object, specific content for what purpose. It's a type. It is for HTTP, it is for NFS, it is for XFS. It depends basically for what type of service, what type of basically content these are. Then there's a level S0, S1. You know that we have level like from severity level, that from 0 to 7, right?
Hmm.
So 0 is basically, you know, that's only the 0 is critical, I believe, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 0 is critical. Right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So basically, the 70 levels are there. Then actual content, actual file. So that's a basically SELinux label. These are called SELinux labels or SELinux context. Okay. So it basically on the even permissions, whatever things are there, it will not permission definitely acts for the access. We use it, but when it come to the SELinux will not look into the permission. It will look into basically label. It will look into the context. If context or labels match as per the requirement, then it will allow us. Otherwise, it will not allow us. Okay. So if you want to see the SELinux parameters, so use capital Z. Capital Z always show us SELinux parameter. Even with the PS, for example, I say AUX capital Z. I can see SELinux values here. Look here, system underscore U, system underscore R. Then it's a kernel related and 70. So you can see. So with a capital Z, we can see SELinux value, SELinux parameters. Okay. So you want to see the current status of SELinux, so we can use the command get enforce. Get enforce will show us the current status. Currently it is enforcing, right? If you want to change the content for temporary purpose only for this session, you can use the command set enforce 0 basically for permissive and 1 for basically enforcing. So this is your choice that what you want to do. So this is only for the current session, only for this session. But if you want to make the changes permanently persistent, then you have to modify the configuration file that is under the etc SELinux config. From here, you can make the permanent persistent changing. So you can see SELinux equal to enforcing. You can change from enforcing to permissive or permissive to enforcing as per your requirement. So this is change from the configuration file. Okay. Any question, guys? So far, please.
So if you, I know you mentioned earlier you have enforcement and permissive, and the third, well, disable enabled. So if you want it to be disabled now,
Yes. If I then in the configuration file, you make it disabled. See here, it is written enforcing permissive disabled, right?
right?
Right. So you can use disabled.
So in the config file.
Yes, exactly. Because disable you can't do with the command line, so that is only
Right,
for
right. That was right. Okay, good. Correct.
clear. Any question, Khalid?
No.
Is okay. Okay. Now, if you find, I'm going to show you some something that very interesting and see the result. Okay, I'm going to configure a web server. Okay, then we'll see the result. So I'm going to be run web server. I will say yum minus y install httpd. Let me run the web server. I will put some content and see the result here. So I'm going to show you that how SELinux basically uh, impacting our activities. Okay. Okay, friends. So look here. I'm going to make it enforcing get enforce. Okay, perfect. I'm going to open a browser. What I've done, I just configure a web server and I put two files. If you look here about the file slash var www.html, you can see there are two files, right? One is cal.txt, second is date.txt, right? Yes, Khalid, Elliot,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
right?
Yep, I
Okay.
see.
Look here, permissions, everything is same. If you look at the permissions, read, write, read, write, read for the both. Ownership is root for the both files, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks same. There's no change, right? The both files are having same permissions, same location, same permissions, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now see the result. I'm going to access it. Okay. I will open a browser. Workstation cal.txt. Okay. Colon slash cal.txt. You will see that what's wrong with it. It is going to the internet. Okay, let me open here in the CLI. Sorry guys, today I'm having some issue with the internet.
Yeah.
So disconnecting and connecting again, right? Okay. See here. Come on. Okay. I'll use curl. Okay. http:// I will say workstation and I will say cat.txt. See here. Workstation. Okay. Let me go with date.txt. System ctl status httpd. Okay, it's running. Okay, yes friends, see here, if you look here, if I'm trying to access cat.txt, you can see the content, right?
Right.
Yes friends. Khalid,
Yes.
are you able to see the content, right? But if the same
Yes.
time I've tried to access date.txt, you will see that there will be an error. There will be forbidden, right? You can see there's an error that's
Information.
forbidden. Even both files are located at the same location, right? Have you seen it? ls-l/var www.html, right? If you see here, both files are located at the same location,
Mm-hmm.
same ownership, same group ownership, same permissions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But currently SELinux is enforcing mode, right? If you see here, if I make it set enforce permissive, or you will see that, sorry, set enforce 0, not permissive, sorry guys. Okay, look here, now get enforce, it will show me that it is permissive mode, right? I'm just going to refresh this page and you will see that this time I will able to access the content, right?
Hmm.
Why it is happening? What is the reason behind it? If you look at the labels of the given files, if you see here, the first file that cal.txt, SELinux labels, if you read here, this user is unconfined, that is for the both, it is same, right? Then object underscore this is same for the both, but if you look at the third portion, that is SELinux context, and you see here the first file that is cal.txt, it is for HTTP. It means this is designed, this is created for the HTTP access, right? But second is for the user home directory, for the user's home. This is SELinux role, that is user home. So if, because this is in the document root of web HTTP and we're trying to access using HTTP, but when we try to access this subject, what happened? The role is not similar. This is not similar to the HTTP. So therefore, it is not allowing the access. So there even the files are located at same location, but if this is not matching, labels are not matching with that desired service, it will not allow the access. Right? Have you seen the result? Idiot,
Yes, I see that.
Khalid? Right.
Yes.
So if you want to allow us, what you need to do, you need to change the type. You need to change the type of SELinux, or you have to disable or permissive SELinux. So permissive or disabling is not a solution. So we need to change the label. How to change it? That basically we discuss now.
Mhm.
Okay, look here for each service. If you want to see, not only for HTTP, for each service, I'm going to show you. If you look at the this one logs, in the logs you will find it. If I'm going to read some log /var log messages, if you see here, if you start reading here, you will find it. You will find that somewhere in the, see here, if you read it, HTTP read, you, let me scroll up. See here, var www.html.data.txt default label should be httpd underscore sys content. It is telling you that basically SLS is preventing. If you see here, it is saying that SELinux is preventing HTTP from mapping access to the file var www.html.txt, right? You can see it is preventing. And to
Mhm.
allow us to allow the access, see here, you want to fix the label var www.html.txt default label should be httpd underscore sys underscore. It means that you must change the label to this one, right? How to change it? If you have SELinux alert package, then there's a way that you can do, as you can see the even solution as well. Even in the log, if you look here, solution is also given. So they say that in which of see uh, due to permission to access a parent directory, in which case try to change the following command accordingly. So command is given for your reference. It is restore con minus cap v. I'm going to put this command and see the result. So if you read the log, in the log you can find all the information, even solution will be there, right? See here, I'm going to put that command. Now look here. Now both having the same content, right? Same parameters. See here.
Mhm.
Now even it is in forcing mode, we are good enough. We are enough to go for it, right? Okay. So this is basically from the logs you can see. If you want to change it manually, if you understand these things, then using SEmanage command you can change it. You can.
Mhm.
Okay. How to use SEmanage command, that I will show you right now. See here. Chcon command basically to apply the chcon command changes the file context of the directory value. So it will basically chcon will apply as per the parent directory. Okay.
What's the difference between chcon and restorecon?
Yeah, restore con basically as per the service, as per the see here what happened. Restore con will look into the parent directory content. Okay.
Okay.
And chcon like you're changing manually. So there are three different ways that we can do. One, or we can use restore con. Restore con basically apply the SELinux labels as per the parent directory. Okay.
Correct. Okay.
And chcon will allow you to change the type. If you look here, so change like it's like change con configuration minus t http, you are putting the content as Linux labels, and then which directory you want to apply. Okay. Or which file you want to apply.
File.
That's each
Okay.
command.
So
Another
file with the
command is
directory.
that is basic SEmanage. SEmanage, it's not only for the labels. SEmanage is for the multi-purpose. Okay. See here, they're restoring. So even you are doing change, you are making change with the ch command, you have to apply the changes with the restore con.
Restorecon. Okay.
Okay. SEmanage is basically a multi-purpose tool that will allow you to add the rule, add the record. It will allow you to delete. It will allow you to see the list, or it will allow you to manage the other parameters of SELinux. How to do with SEmanage? I'm going to show you one example. See here. If I use the command SEmanage,
think he's gone again.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so let me show you with SC manage. Okay. If I use the command SELinux, okay, I will say f context minus L. So I can see for all the, so not only for HTTP, and you will see that it is for almost each and every service. See here, if you read, it's a big one, right? It's a very big. Okay. If you want to change for some specific objects, you have to use SELinux f context manage. Then minus A, you want to add minus the type, then you will put the basically your desired label httpd underscore sys. It depends basically what you want to do. Might be it is for CGI for the web application, might be it is for NFS server, might be it is for SMB server. It depends. Okay, underscore sys underscore content underscore t. So what you can do, you can search. For example, you are newcomer, you want to search. I'm going to show you. For example, I'm looking for NFS only. So what I can do, I can grab NFS. So it will show you only the, see here, this is only for NFS. See here, right? So you can see basically what you are looking to do. See here. So SE manage F context minus a add minus t, then httpd underscore sys underscore content underscore t, and then you'll put your object name, right? Whatever the object is, for example, char.txt, just put that object. Once it is done, then use the command restore con and apply your changes. Clear?
Clear.
See here.
Mm-hmm.
SE manage F context minus A for add minus T type. You specify the type, and then you can specify the parent directory. See here, this is for the parent directory plus the subcon like directories and files. Okay. Any doubt? Any question so far?
No.
In exam, there's a one question regarding SELinux troubleshooting. What is that? So we'll discuss in the exam review session. So therefore, I'm not focusing on the exam right now, focusing only on the content. But I can assure you, what are things we're studying. So exam question will be from these things. Okay. Now we have booleans as well. Another thing in SELinux that is called SELinux booleans. What are the booleans basically? These are switches that basically change the behavior of SELinux policy. Like for example, just boolean is a set of rules. Okay, it's just about the behavior. So what is a boolean? How it works? Example I will show you. If I use the command sc get se bool minus L. Okay, just I will grab for example HTTP. Let me go with SH. It's not minus L, it's a minus A. Sorry guys. All. Okay, look here. I'm just let me go with some other FTP. Okay, look here. See, I just fetch some Boolean information. Okay, some policies here. If you look here, HTTPD underscore enable underscore CGI is there, right? Right. There's a git CGI enable home directories. Okay, let me go another home directory here. Okay, if you look here, HTTPD underscore enable underscore home directories. So it is off, right? Sometime what happen, for example, we have HTTP server. We want to allow the user to get their home directories over the HTTP, right? in the configuration file of HTTP, we have allowed them to access their home directory. But SELinux by default, if it's enforcing mode, SELinux by default, it will not allow the users to access their home directory using HTTP. Why? Because there's a policy that is a Boolean. So Boolean says that it is off. It means Boolean says that don't allow the home directory of the users.
So what's a Boolean? I did not get that.
Just it's a policy, it's a set of rules. Okay, it's set of rules that basically you want to allow something or not. You want to turn on this feature or not. Yes, dear.
Okay.
Okay. So like if you see here httpd underscore enable underscore home directories, it is off. If in the configuration file we allow the user to access their home directory, right? But Boolean is the status is off. It will say sorry. As per the SE Linux policy, I will not allow you to access your home directories. If you want me to allow the home access to the home directory, please turn it on. Make the policy, make SE Linux policy to turn it on. So then it will allow the access. Okay. Our friends Elliot and Khalid hear very clearly. So don't think SELinux into the more detail because there are more than there are 60,000 codings are there, coding lines are there. So just understand the basic idea of SELinux. When we start working with SELinux, we'll get more knowledge. Like what
Okay.
today my internet is disturbing a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So simply you need to understand the basically basic like SELinux mode enforcing permissive, the difference between these two modes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Labels, how to change the labels. Then ports. If you are making customized environment, you need to inform the SELinux about the port. Sometimes you know what happened. Attacker they put the Trojan, they put the backdoors, right? So that basically open a port. So SELinux will say, sorry, no need to worry, I'm there. If someone try to open any customized port, I will not allow them to work. If you want me to allow them to work, then customize me. Tell me about that port. Then I will allow the access on that port. Okay. So you must understand the Boolean enforcing and permissive mode and the ports that how it works. That's how you don't need to go into a more detail. It will take some time to understand SLNX a very in a way. It's like a Kubernetes. It's like the Kubernetes technology right now we are using. So understanding Kubernetes it's a very difficult, very complicated, right? It take time to understand. When it was introduced, people they were explaining about the Kubernetes, they were forget by themselves. Okay. So it will take some time to understand all these things. So just you must know enforcing mode. What is enforcing? What is permissive? Okay. SC Linux, SC ports, SC Linux ports,
Mm-hmm.
and Boolean is the basic concept. That's all. So that is more than enough. So slowly, you will get the knowledge. Okay.
Okay.
Is Khalid true? If you want turn it on, if you want to make, for example, I want to allow the user home directory access over the HTTP, I need to turn it on. What I can do, I can say set sc boot, okay, minus a minus t. Okay, then I will add it. For example, I will say httpd underscore enable underscore home directories. I will say on. So you can make okay, not the minus a. I think it is minus a is not a valid option. Okay, so what's wrong with it? Let me see the actual command syntax to change it. Yeah, okay, there's no t, nothing. So only the active we can put minus p is there that to make it persistent. See here. Now if I fetch that information again, you will see that this time it will be on. You can see it is on. So now in the configuration file, if we allowed the home directory, then it allow. So this is not only for this one HTTP, almost for all the services. Whenever you want to allow some content to access that is not in the document root, that is not part of document root of that service, then we need to make it on or make it off to allow or deny the access. Okay. Now regarding the port number, just another example regarding, as I told you, that if someone tried to open a port on the machine and that is not a well-known port, SELinux will not allow that. I'm going to make some changes in the configuration for the HTTPD. See here, by default HTTP works on port 80. I'm going to change the port from 80 to something else. See here, I'm going to make it 888. Now see here, if I restart my service, I just change the port number, right?
Mhm.
You will see that SELinux is provided. It's a, now this time the HTTP service is not starting. It's not restarting. Why? Just run this command and you will see the reason why it is not restarting the service. If you start reading it, so you will find about SELinux. So SELinux here, set SC bool, the multiple options are given to you. That basically, or even if we look at tail slash var log messages, you will see here. Look, it is SELinux is preventing USR has been HTTP from name bind access on the TCP socket port 888, right? So it's mean SELinux is preventing, right?
Mhm.
If you want to allow us, it is given. If you want to allow this to bind the network port 88, then you need to modify the port type with the semanage port minus a minus t with this command, right? So what I can do, I can copy the same command if I want to allow it, and I can simply change port type. I need to put the port type that is httpd underscore t, httpd underscore uh, port underscore t, I believe. Yes. So I'll change the port type with the http. It is http, not httpd. Sorry guys, it is http. Right. Friends, it is http, not httpd. Okay,
Mhm.
it is written here. So it is http underscore port underscore t. Just change that one. So now you will see that after making changes and you will able to restart your service. So you can see that if there's any unknown port, if there's any service that is not known, for example, someone put a Trojan, someone put a malware on your machine, right? Or backdoor that could open a new port on your system. So SELinux will not allow that one. Is it true or not? You know that malware basically creates or start a new service, right?
Right. Mhm. Mhm.
Especially Trojan, it always create a backdoor. So that backdoor basically attacker used to gain the unauthorized access. So SELinux is there if there's any unknown service, any unknown port that is not known by the system, okay, it will not allow you to access. It will not allow you to run that service on that specific port. For this purpose, as the admin, you need to inform SELinux that we have changed the port and now the service is running on this port, right?
Mhm.
Any
Right.
question? Any question?
No.
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 Okay. Mhm.
Oh, great. So these are three things that we have in SELinux. First, SELinux modes, enforcing permissive. Permissive mode, it will record the things only. It will record the SELinux activity, but will not prevent. Enforcing mode, it will prevent If violation is there, it will prevent it, it will stop it. Second, we study about how to change the content using the chcon command, a restore command, or semanage command. Another one, Boolean, is a basically policy set of rules combined into a single group, again a single entry, so that you can enable or disable, make it on or off as per your requirement. If you want to allow something over any service over the network, you can make it on or off. And third one is a port. If you want to run any service on a customized port, you must inform SELinux about that port. Okay. If you want to see the current port that SELinux knows, you can use the command se manage
Mhm.
port -l list. Then you can, for example, grab, okay, http. Let's see here. Look, currently HTTP is understand will work fine on these ports 888, 80, 81, 443, 488. On these ports will work fine without any change. But if you want to run on any other port and that is not in the list, it will not operate. Even for the SSH, if you look here for SSH, if you want to change the SS port from 22 to some other port, by default it is 22, right? See here. It is 20, but if you are running SSH on port might be 2000 customized port, and you don't inform SELinux, it will not allow you to run the service on that customized port. So you need to inform. Even same thing for FTP. Look here, see here 2120. So Khalid, is it okay? Any
Yes.
question?
Yes.
Any doubt?
No.
Perfect. So that is a troubleshooting lab that you need to perform. So let me know if there's any question, any challenge, so we can discuss it.
Okay.
Yes, Khalid, is it